Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to a game between TBCBM and Life. TBCBM has spawned as the Undead player on the bottom left-hand side of Amazonia. Meanwhile, Life has spawned as the Blue Night Elf over here on the top right. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, however you may be watching. Things are going fairly well today. Being able to stream a little bit more happening on the right side of the screen compared to in times past. It makes me feel as though I'm not alone. And Orb Knight, you'll have a chance to make me smile as well. Alright, first 2 minutes of the game, you guys pretty much know what's going to be happening. Setting up your altars, getting those Ancients of War and your crypts into position. What we're looking for is the timing on those Tomb of Relics, and in terms of the shops. When are we going to be looking at that Tomb of Relics? The all-important Rod of Necromancy, which makes which increases the Undead army's potency during the early portion of the game. Even though it does cost 200 gold for that Rod of Necromancy, and you need skeletons. Because Undead need ghouls to harvest their lumber early on, it really made their early game much too weak during the Reign of Chaos days. With the addition of the Rod of Necromancy, the Death Knight could pick it up and then go to the other end of the map. And those units actually have very, very high damage, even though they do have relatively low hit points and short lifespans. The pressure is there, and it is still felt, as we're going to be looking at an an Acolyte trying to run away. Oh, taking far too much. I thought that Wisp was actually going to try and body block. That would have been absolutely hilarious. Get body blocked right there, as we're now going to see the rogues now making their way over. That is a lot of damage that Ancient of War needs to shake off and absorb. 2-minute mark just now passed as the Demon Hunter makes its rounds out. Will it be able to finish off that Renegade Wizard? Yes, it will. Picks up a Gloves of Haste, now finishing off the remaining rogues. Will there be enough repairs on that Ancient of War? It is holding steady at 50 hit points. Actually, I saw it go down to 40 for a second. That could be extremely dangerous and close, as you see another rogue getting taken down right there. Alright, it looks like the Ancient of War finally stabilized. Losing an early Ancient of War is not what you really want to do at this point, but it looked as though perhaps the Ancient of War actually got a killing blow onto a unit. That is why the Demon Hunter could not finish it up. Now, back across over here, Death Knight on the south side, making sure to clean up the rogues and try to get to level 2 himself. You can see off to the side over here, what, only 2 apprentice wizards? Yeah, that's actually right. Gets to level 2 before finishing off those 2 apprentice wizards, as the Demon Hunter going to run on in, try and get a mana burn, does so, but make sure to not get surrounded by ghouls and skeletal minions. Death Knight leading the charge. You can take a look, another mana burn right there. The Demon Hunter actually using the line of sight of the trees very effectively to make it so that the Death Knight didn't know where the units were. There's a big detonation across multiple units. A beautiful just-in-time death coil as the Death Knight needs to escape. Another mana burn nearly takes him out, as TBCBM needs to escape. Life escaping with some low hit point units here once more. It looks as though a Kobold Tunneler will get taken out. And wow, units are dropping like flies. This is not a situation you want to be in. The Death Knight sub 200 hit points and without mana this early in the game. Only way to really heal is to be sitting on Blight at this point. Black Citadel or Halls of the Dead about halfway completed. You need to see your Slaughterhouse. Graveyard now being added in there as well, as the Death Knight is going to be forced to just cower inside his base or his neck of the woods, not venture out too far. Demon Hunter with Boots of Speed, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, and Gloves of Haste could make a very big impact here as the Death Knight now wanders across. Oh, a big bash right there. Unfortunately, unable to get a Death Coil off from the Death Knight. A little bit short on mana to finish off the unit, as the Demon Hunter still chasing after the units. So far, the smaller army has been able to pick on the larger army quite a bit, as the units are now backing off again. You can see all of those summoned skeletons, how big of a nuisance they are, as the Demon Hunter now slowly looking to back off. Tree of Ages nearing completion. We should be looking at perhaps Dryads and Bears as the countermeasure to what I believe to be Crypt Fiends and Destroyers. Also, Undead players have been much more favoring of the Frostworms as of late, since they are so effective against those poor bears and able to slow down the heroes. I've said it in the past, whoever is retreating is generally losing, and Frostworms makes that even more so since trailing units are picked off with relative ease. Death Knight, down to 227 hit points, is going to be able to finish anything off across here. There is another mana burn. Not much to burn off though. 17 mana left. Panda may try to get off a Breath of Fire. Is he going to be able to finish off any of those units? Wow, that Breath of Fire cone. I've said it in the past. I'll say it again. The animation is not the same as how far the damage is actually dealt. I don't know if they were trying to be true to physics, but yes, the visible range of a fire is not necessarily the heat range of a fire. Anyone who, well, has been burned definitely knows that. Panda, with double Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, an extremely powerful hero, getting +6 damage and having a lot more hit points. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Skeletal Minions going after the Wisp. No detonation there, just trying to save all the units. Now, Life does seem rather spread out. He has Ancients of War and Archers all across the map. You can see that he's also seated at 29/40 supply, just now getting his 4th Moonwell, and that Moonwell is not going to reach capacity by daybreak. That might be a little bit of a setback once more, as the skeletal minions are still chasing after this Wisp. Will this Wisp be able to get anywhere easily? No. Detonation instead, as we are looking at the Panda coming across and now finishing off the Kobold Taskmasters, perhaps hoping to get to level 3. Alright, Kobold Tunnelers, remaining units that you can take a look. Panda still sitting on a fairly large amount of hit points, as the Kobold Tunneler will get taken down here. Back off to the north, Skeletal Minions with a lot of harassment potential, just rushing on the inside here, not going to be able to do all too much. Once again, let's take a look. Panda joining in on the fight. We see the Dryads and Archers, but I can't really see Life's standing army actually be able to transition well into what TBC-BM is going to be eventually going for. You can see the Lich is already out. You can see Obsidian statues are being had. Black Citadel will be nearly done. We could be getting a Naga Sea Witch. We should be looking at an Orb of Corruption on that Lich as well. And we could also be getting Frostworms. 33 supply compared to 37. Both sides with relatively small armies, but still able to do a lot of damage. This could be potentially scary, as you do see one Sentry Ward was taken out, but the Shade is out of the bag. Everyone knows where it is, and that it has to be extremely careful. Demon Hunter sitting at level 3. Skeletal Minions still doing a little bit of chasing. We see an expansion attempt. Tree of Life getting ready to go here. As, well, Skeletal Minions, well, don't really stand a chance up against those units. Meanwhile, fight in the middle. Death Coil. A Death Coil Mana Burn exchange in the middle of the map. You see Obsidian Statue needs to heal back up and perhaps replenish more mana. Lich with maximum mana and Orb of Corruption. I still don't see a Boneyard as of yet, but we are, in fact, getting Destroyer form. Dryads now making their way over. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units. All of those skeletal minions will get burned to death. That is a big experience boost, as well as the Death Knight now needs to escape. Alright, the timing is critical. If Life can actually push through and deal critical damage at this point, there is, well, by definition of critical damage, I don't believe TBC-BM will be able to recover. We see only one Obsidian statue right now, sitting at 34/50 supply, and only 357 gold in the bank for the Night Elf. Back down across here, Demon Hunter trying to escape, does have a potion of greater mana. Dryad actually getting caught in this position here. Skeletons burned to death. I don't know. I guess all of the magic was gone from them, and that's how they died, since Undead, well, burned to living? Is that even a possible thing? Ghouls going after the Ancient of Wonders now. Ancient of Wonders, nearly taken out, but will be able to be completed, only to see it disappear into nothing. 39 supply compared to 48. Tree of Life desperately trying to be saved. Not going to really work out here as we are looking at the Crypt Fiends now joining in on the fight. Nothing I say is canon. I am not a Warcraft 3 expert, but the Demon Hunter could try and mana burn this Obsidian statue, which would actually make a lot of sense right there, since he does have plenty of mana, and that Obsidian statue is healing up and replenishing the mana of all of the remaining units. Fast hands there by Life, making sure that, well, he doesn't get free experience from those wisps that are all positioned across the map. Back off to the north. Well, Renegade Wizards and Rogues all being finished off. Beautiful Frost Nova coming in from the back. And this is that Creep Jack that the Undead needed. 2 units quickly taken down. A Druid of the Claw taken out before it's able to finish transforming, as the Death Knight now needs to back off. Death Knight in a very, very awkward position, needs to get away. There is 1 Destroyer up in the air, and all of a sudden TBCBM looking to be in a very favorable spot if he can stop and make sure that this Tree of Life does not get up and operational. It is very difficult for an Undead army to set up expansions, and that's what we're having here as the Death Knight, Destroyer, Lich, and Naga Sea Witch still wander around. No Boots of Speed on the Naga Sea Witch. Little bit curious about that. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter easily getting some mana burns off, could try and focus down some units. All right, here we go. Dryads are here, ready to go. There is a bear in that forward position. Panda in the back. Are we going to see another Drunken Haze Breath of Fire? No, there's the Drunken Haze Breath of Fire right there, as the damage and burning sensation is starting to add back up. Demon Hunter very low on hit points, uses a potion of invulnerability in time, pushing back the other way. Naga Sea Witch could get taken down. There's a mana burn, trying to finish off some more units. Dryads trying to slow down the Crypt Fiend, but the Crypt Fiend, well, just out of range slightly. Another mana burn coming back over. Thank you for the host, as we're now looking at, well, the Demon Hunter looking to back off once more. Destroyer gonna go ahead, try to finish off this Druid of the Claw. Has to be extremely careful, as the Dryads can easily start poking down this Destroyer here, as it is immune to magic. Quick Devour Magic right there. Mana burn onto the Death Knight again. Death Knight now looking to back off. Dryad still poking apart, as the Destroyer is still up. Breath of Fire going across all of these units, as we do see the Boneyard up and now training up our first Frostworm. 50 supply compared to 48. 7 of that being the Frostworm that has not yet been trained up. That is going to be a big deal. Naga Sea Witch sure could have used those boots. Yeah, a tail cap. I'm not sure. Maybe the Naga Sea Witch puts the boots on her hands and it somehow still makes her walk faster. Anyways, coming back across over here, Panda sitting at level 4. Those double gauntlets of Ogre Strength plus 3. Very powerful. Again, Druid of the Claw here, ready to go. Shade keeping track of the army, looking for a potential creep jack, as the Dryads and Archers are still wandering out. No upgrades, though, from the Dryads or the Bears, as the Demon Hunter rushes head-on into this group. Demon Hunter getting and just attacking multiple units. You can see that it is not being devoured. Breath of Fire going across, and the Demon Hunter seems to be just running circular patterns around all of these units. No home field advantage. Druid of the Claw could get taken out. No Staff of Preservation, but it doesn't matter, as Life able to take the game away from TBCBM. The hero score, really the big difference right there. 4-4-1 compared to 3-1-1. The Death Knight and Lich unable to clear out enough creep camps to be effective with their Frost Novas. You didn't see any Frost Armors either, which would have been extremely helpful. Beautiful game right there, especially with the Panda using Breath of Fire and Drunken Haze, something you don't see very often. You saw how effective that Breath of Fire was, and, well, you also saw how large that Cone of Cone actually is. I think it's actually 100% larger in terms of area than you think it is, just because of how V's and arches and radii work. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you guys are here on Twitch, keep on watching as I load up and get another video set up for YouTube.